I'm Mia. Welcome to my YouTube channel. That is like super weird for me to say. I don't really do like very YouTubey sit down videos like this very often, so bear with me. I just hit 1,000 subscribers. That's like super crazy to me. I know that's not like that much or whatever, but to me it is. So thank you everybody who is subscribed. I love you, and thank you for giving a shit about my life. I've always wanted to do a Q&A video, so I feel like now is a perfect time to do it. I asked you guys some questions. I have a few on my phone. I'm just gonna read them and answer them. I asked you guys to give me questions about camming, travel, and then just anything else you want to know. So I will separate them into those categories. Okay, so I'm gonna answer the questions about camming first. Here we go. The first question is from Scotty, and he asks, are you going to any other conventions or just AVNs? For those of you who don't know, I just went to the AVN Awards in Vegas. It's a adult entertainment convention. I have 3 vlogs of it. If you want to go check those out, they're pretty cool. But I had so much fun there. It was my very first convention like that, and I really do want to go to more. So I'm going to be going to Exotica in Portland in June, and then I may be going to XBiz in Miami in May. Those are the ones I have on my radar. The Exotica one for sure, but yeah. The next question is something a lot of people want to know actually. This is from Kiki. I love you, Kiki. She says, your coming out video was inspirational to say the least. Thank you. How did your immediate and extended family react to it? How are your relationships with them today? So this is a really good question. So I came out as a sex worker to my family and friends in July of 2018. I was so scared to post it, but also not scared at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense, but I was super anxious to see what people would say, but at the end of the day, I didn't really care that much either. It was a strange like mix of the two. As soon as I posted the video onto my Facebook and Instagram, I just turned off my phone for almost an entire day, and I just didn't even want to like see them. I didn't want to see any comments or anything. I just wanted to get it out there and just like disconnect. I eventually did check my phone. I was actually very pleasantly surprised. I had a lot of family members who I didn't think would be so supportive of me. I got a lot of really kind messages, not just like, we love you, but like, I think that's awesome what you're doing. I'm so proud of you, stuff like that. From people that I didn't think would message me things like that, and my heart was just like very full, and I was an emotional wreck for a really long time. Then there was some family who just didn't say anything to me at all, and I'm assuming it's because they didn't have anything nice to say, and that really hurts, but I expected it. So I only had a few people be harsh, and it wasn't actually to me, it was to my mom. People were coming at her saying that she was a bad mom, and that was not fun. But again, I kind of expected it, so it wasn't a surprise or anything. The overall experience, I'm so glad that I came out to everyone. I don't have to hide anything now. Everyone knows what's up, and that's really that was my main goal. I wasn't really trying to change people's minds about me or sex work. And if I did change their minds, that's just an extra bonus. But my goal was literally just tell people. I have a feeling that some people are probably saying negative things to each other, like behind my back. But again, I don't have the energy to care about that. This is what I love to do, and I'm not ashamed of it, so yeah. Thank you for that awesome question, Kiki. Here is one from Tom. It says, how and why did you get into camming? So if you want a longer explanation of this, you can watch my coming out video. It's on my YouTube channel. It's called I'm a Sex Worker. I give a long explanation, but the short explanation is, I don't know when I found out about camming, but I just remember when I did, I was like, that seems cool. I've always been like an open-minded person and like very open with just my body and sex and things like that. So when I turned 18, I wanted to make some extra money and I was like, let me give it a shot. And I tried it. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And at first I was kind of just doing it for the money, but then I realized that I really loved it. And that it was so much more than I thought it was. I myself had a bunch of misconceptions about camming, and I thought it was just all about sex and like didn't realize that there's a whole amazing community and it's not just about sex, and it's also about connecting with people. And I just absolutely fell in love with it and met friends for life. I wanted to make some extra money. I just did it. But then I fell in love and it snowballed from there. So that's how it started. The next question is from Archie. What do you find the most rewarding aspect of being a cam girl? What do you find the most frustrating or least rewarding aspect? So the most rewarding aspect of being a cam model is positively changing people's lives. I've had so many people tell me how I've completely changed their lives for the better and give me like really heartfelt messages. I recently got this really long letter from someone who poured their heart out to me, telling them how like I inspired them and things, and I was just crying so hard. And after I was done reading it, I just thought to myself, like, this is why I love what I do. I love touching people. I love just spreading love. I just love making people happy. That's really it. I just love making people happy, and it's very rewarding to make them so deeply happy on a sexual level and most of the time on a non-sexual level too. The most frustrating aspect of being a cam model is definitely society's view on it. I feel like a lot of people don't believe that I'm actually doing good in this world. A lot of people don't think that it is a rewarding job. They think I'm degrading myself and stooping to the lowest of lows and all that shit. It's so annoying. Like, I wish I could just change the stigma. The next question is from Ramona. She asks, even though you're doing so well, do you still have days where you fear you're going to lose your momentum? I know a lot of girls sometimes feel like they're losing regulars / views and worry it's permanent. Yes. I don't even know one cam model that doesn't feel this way every once in a while, even if you're the top of the top. Like, I'm not the top of the top, but I'm very well off and have been for about 2 years now, and I still get scared when I have a slow night. Everyone has slow nights. Those can be really discouraging and make you doubt yourself. I definitely doubt myself sometimes, for sure. Like, how I deal with that though is I just remind myself that every time I felt that way, it's not a valid fear. Like, every time I've feared failing, I don't fail. So I kind of just go by the statistics and say, you know what, it's a slow period, you'll be fine. Yeah, don't even worry. It's part of the job. It's completely normal. This is from Faint. How do you manage to keep the positive and happy energy that you have during your shows, especially when bad and not so good days arise? So this kind of connects to the last question. How I stay positive during slow days is I'm in general a pretty positive, happy person, so I feel like that just by itself makes it easier. I'm really optimistic, and I try not to let like one experience get me down. So if I have a slow day, I will just reassure myself and say, it's okay, these are normal, I'll be better tomorrow or next week, like, it's okay, just routine. I think it helps that even when I have slow days, there's usually people that I love in the chat room talking, and so even if I'm not making money, I'm still hanging out with my friends and I'm still talking to people, which makes me happy. And I don't really let it get to me. I used to be bad. I used to just like log off or just like sit on my phone when I got slow days, but I don't do that anymore. Okay, the next question is kind of related to you. This one's from Andrew. He says, how many times have you come online when you weren't feeling it, but you gave it a shot anyway and your whole day was turned around? That happens quite a lot, actually. I feel like almost every day before cam, I'm kind of like, I don't really want to. But once I get on cam, everything turns around. I'm like, I'm so happy I did. And sometimes when I'm really not feeling it, I just won't get online. I feel like everyone has that before work. Even if they love their job, they're kind of like, I could just sit here and watch TV instead. Especially being self-employed, it's very easy to want to take the day off, but I'm really good at being like, no, do it, go on anyway. So I just kind of tell myself like, just do it, just do it, just do it, just do it. You can do it, just do it, come on. You'll be offline in like 4 hours, just do it. Come on. Okay, the next one is also from Andrew. He says, how do you psych yourself up before a show? I feel like I kind of just answered that. I'm like, you can do it. Just do it. Just do it. Sometimes I'll like put on music and just like dance around, or when I'm like putting on my makeup, music, that definitely gets me psyched up. Last one from Andrew. How do you wind down after show's over? Okay, after I get offline, I usually change into something cozy, and then usually my boyfriend is here, so I will go and hang out with him. I almost always eat food after cam. I'll order some Postmates, usually some like Greek food or maybe like a burrito, and then me and my boyfriend will watch TV. Recently we've been watching MasterChef and Jersey Shore. Yeah, just get all cuddled up and hang out for a few hours before I go to sleep. Scotty asks, who do you most want to cam with that you haven't already? There's so many. Oh my gosh. I would love to cam with Sugar Bee or Binky Bear or I don't know. Dodo asks, how has the camming community impacted you personally? Whoa, this is a loaded question. The camming community has changed my life, my entire life, every aspect of it. And if you want to hear more about that, it's also in my sex worker coming out video. So long story short, it's made me such a more loving, happy individual. I'm so much more comfortable in my own skin, and so I know myself a lot better now. I have made so many meaningful connections to people. It's just, oh my gosh, I could go on for hours. So if you want to hear more about that question, definitely watch my coming out video because I explain it in depth there. Okay, Vape Princess asks, any advice for new cam girls? By the way, I love you. I love you too. Ooh, I have a lot of advice for new cam girls. That's kind of a vague question, but I would say my biggest piece of advice, number one, is don't start camming unless you're okay with yourself being all over the internet and maybe everyone in your life finding out someday. If you can't accept those two things, then don't ever start camming. You have to prepare yourself for that. You have to accept that risk. It's very, very important. After that, I would say consistency is key with camming. You have to stick to a schedule, and that's how you get regulars. It's very important to stay consistent. And also just fucking be yourself. You won't make it in this industry unless you are 100% comfortable. I know that's really cheesy, but that is what made me successful, because when I first started, I was trying to be someone I wasn't. I was kind of just copying other girls and being overly sexual, not really talking much, not really like saying my opinions, not wanting to dye my hair because I thought people didn't like colored hair and like things like that. But once I broke free from that and I just started being my silly self, once I started playing my ukulele on cam, when before I thought no one wants to see that, like that's when I started getting real regulars and real people who like really cared about me. I would say those are my biggest pieces of advice. Okay, so that's all of the camming questions. Now I'll move on to the travel questions. First travel question, are you afraid of flying in airplanes? Yes. Despite the fact that I travel quite a bit, I am terrified of airplanes. I've gotten a lot better recently. I just remind myself that being in a plane is like so much safer than being in a car, and I ride in cars all the time, and that turbulence doesn't mean you're gonna crash. Turbulence is just normal. That's what I have to remind myself, and ever since I've been doing that, it's been better, but there's definitely been times in an airplane where I'm like, Have you ever traveled alone / would you? I don't think so. I mean, I've traveled short distances, but I've never left the country alone or left the state alone. Well, I've left the state alone, but like once I got to that state, I met up with people. But I don't think that counts. No. I don't think I would. I love sharing travel experiences so much. I can't find myself traveling alone. I really can't. Also, I'm scared. Like, I'm a small girl. I would be too scared. I don't care where it is. It could be the safest place on earth, but I would still be scared if I didn't have another person. What's a foreign food you tried and didn't like? Okay, what immediately came to mind is durian. If you guys don't know what durian is, good. You probably don't want to. To me, it just tastes like stinky feet. I gave it a try, because some people are like, oh, it smells bad, but it tastes good. But I was like, no, it smells bad and it tastes bad. I don't like it. The next question is favorite and least favorite place that I've traveled and my favorite food. Okay, so my favorite place I've traveled. Oh, that's hard. I would say Bali. Bali is beautiful and it's cheap, so it's kind of like a win-win. The food, the nature, just everything is outstanding. My least favorite place? Okay. Least favorite is a good word because they're all my favorites. Like, I love them all. There's none that I would ever take back. But I would have to say my least favorite was Jamaica, only because me, Lisa, and Lena were constantly harassed. And there were times where we felt unsafe and were scared for like our lives. That sucked. Everything else in Jamaica was amazing, but the men who harassed us were just awful. Have you ever gotten sick on a trip? Yes. Well, not like super bad. I get traveler's diarrhea like everywhere I go, but that's pretty normal. One time when I was in Singapore, I thought that I like had a fever. It was really bad. I like was sweating so much and I felt terrible, but it kind of went away in a day. I have no idea what that was all about. So no, I've never been terribly sick. Okay, Scotty asks, what are your travel plans for next year? Next year, like 2020? Oh my gosh, I have not really planned that far in advance. One place I know I'm going for sure in 2020 though is Japan. I'm planning to go to Tokyo for the Cherry Blossom Festival next year with Lena, and that's our only like concrete plan. Yeah, I honestly haven't planned further than that. Scotty also asks, where do you most want to go on your travels? Everywhere, literally. I want to go to as many countries as safely possible. Obviously, there's a few that I wouldn't go to, but I want to try to go to all of them. Number one on the list is Japan. I'm planning to go there. Okay, there's the travel questions. Now we will move on to all the other ones that didn't fit into those categories. So we have from Scotty, will you get any more tattoos? Yes, I am planning on getting a whole bunch of more tattoos. I only have one at the moment. It's a Hello Kitty on my butt. Next tattoo I want to get is 444 right here, because the number 444 has a lot of meaning to me. To me, whenever I see 444, it means I'm on the right path. I always check the time and it's 4:44. Sometimes it'll happen like every day for like a month, and then it'll just like randomly stop for like a month, and then it'll be back for like a week. I don't know, it's weird, but I would want to get it right here because that's where you like have a watch, so it's like the time is always 4:44. I also want to get kind of like half a sleeve of cherry blossoms because, first of all, I love cherry blossoms. They're beautiful. We have a lot here where I live, and also I love Japan, so it just ties that together. And also it would represent my camming life because my brand is centered around cherries and cherry blossoms, so it would represent a lot of things, and also it's just pretty, so that's been on my list. I want to get the word love, L-U-V, somewhere on my body, because that word has special meaning to me. I kind of made up my own little meaning for that spelling of the word. So regular love, L-O-V-E, is just, you know, love. But to me, L-U-V means universal love, like a collective consciousness, kind of one, everyone is one, kind of like universe, like trippy, hippy, dippy love. Like, that's what it means to me, and I love love, so I want to get that. I want to get like a little Aquarius symbol because I'm an Aquarius, and some other, I don't know, like a little cherry would be cute. Those are what I have in mind. This one is from Kuhn. He asks, he says, "You are one of the most positive people I know. I also know that it is a conscious decision to be so. How do you get back to being positive on those days you want to crawl in a hole, throw a blanket over your head and just sleep for a year, or keep from snapping at those you love most?" This is a really good question. On the days that I want to crawl up in a hole with a blanket over my head, I usually do. I usually just snuggle up in a blanket and don't really do anything all day and watch TV. So there's that. But I still keep a positive attitude because I think those days are normal. Like I think it's okay to take a day to just curl up in a blanket and watch TV or sleep all day. Maybe not too much, but I think a day every now and then is completely fine, so I'm not really concerned about that. I try to just, whenever I'm feeling down, just repeat in my head, this is kind of weird, but I just think, I am love, I am love, I love all, I love all, I am love, I am love, and take some deep breaths, and honestly, that makes me feel better. And I do the same thing when I feel like snapping at people I love. I love everyone, so if I feel like snapping at someone, I just also repeat that in my head. I am love, I am love. I want to embody love. I am love. I just remind myself that like over and over again, and it honestly keeps me from snapping at people, or I just think, like, put myself in their shoes, close my eyes, take some deep breaths, and yeah, that usually works for me. Lana B asks, how did you realize your talent for video making and editing? Also, when did you first find your passion for music? Also, I love you more than anything. I love you more than anything too. I never realized that I had a talent because I don't believe anyone is born with a talent, but I realized that I loved making videos very young. I always would just make like silly music videos to popular songs and film, edit videos in like Windows Movie Maker, make skits and stuff like that. And I just loved doing it. Whenever it was like somebody's birthday or Christmas, I would make like a little video for them. Like, I just have a love for like documenting things. And I first found my passion for music also at a very young age. So young I don't even remember. My parents are both musicians. We had a grand piano in the house and endless guitars and ukuleles and drums and everything. So I would just always hear them play and then just fiddle around on the piano or whatever. My parents always encouraged me to keep playing music, so I just kept playing music, and around 6th grade is when I started writing my own songs and getting more into it. So yeah, I recently haven't been playing that much or writing that much. I've been more doing YouTube videos and camming and journaling and stuff like that, but I really do want to get back into my music flow because I haven't really written a song in a while, and I think it's about time. Jesse asks, how has my life been after I moved out? Has it been easier or a challenge? Moving out was amazing. It actually went really smoothly. I didn't spend that much time at home anymore because I would travel so much and also stay at my boyfriend's house a lot or friends' houses, so I was kind of used to not being at home, and I think that gave me a smoother transition. But It's amazing, especially just like with the job that I have. It's really nice to have my own space so I can work in the living room or the kitchen or my bathroom, like anywhere. I also like living more central downtown. I can just like walk anywhere, which is amazing. I got my own cat. I live with my best friend. Decorating has been super fun. My favorite thing is hosting parties. Me and Lena will host at least like one big party per month, and then a bunch of like small kickbacks, but they're always so fun. Like people just come over, we party and just have a grand old time, and that's something I couldn't really do at home. Okay, Jake asks, for a girl who just left her teen years, you seem like such an old soul in regards to your music taste and the way you capture and display the world around you, and the old school free loving spirit you seem to have. Where does that come from? Is it your nature or nurture? Well, thank you, Jake. I think it's both. I don't really believe in nature or nurture. I think it's always a mix of both. I was raised by like very, very loving, open-minded, free-spirited parents who were just awesome. I love them so much. I'm so grateful that I have them. And I've kind of always felt this way. I've always had people tell me I'm an old soul, even when I was really young. I don't know. I don't know where it comes from. If I find out, I'll tell you. Bao asks, when are you going to feature me more? People love cat videos, you know? Okay, so somebody made a freaking Twitter account for Bao, which is my cat. I think it's the most hilarious thing, but here, Bao, I'll give you a little cameo, okay? Are you happy now? Okay, guys, this is Bao. Oh no, Bao has been in some of my videos before. Look, he's getting so big. Oh, he's so sleepy right now. Oh, I love him so much. He's just the sweetest ever. He's getting neutered soon. Poor baby. He's gonna have to wear a comb. Dan asks, what art form do you enjoy most? As in music, paint, sculpture, etc. So it changes all the time. Currently, video making. My favorite, really? Stop that. I love making videos. I love it so much. Okay, that was actually the last question. Oh my god, this video is an hour long. I really hope I'll be able to edit it down. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Seriously, thank you for asking me all these amazing questions. I'll definitely do a Q&A again in a couple months. Maybe when I hit 2,000 subscribers, I'll do another Q&A. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope all my answers made sense. I'm still not really used to talking to the camera like this, so I don't know. Goodbye. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and give me a thumbs up and all that good shit. I'll see you guys soon. My next videos are gonna be awesome. I'm about to go to Costa Rica for this festival called Envision. I will be vlogging the entire time. I'm gonna post all those videos, so stay tuned for that because they are gonna be awesome. And yeah, peace out.